They talk, you welfare bitches, y'all in here because y'all ain't, you Section 8 bitches, you in here because you ignorant and you don't know no better, you know what I'm saying? All y'all do is have babies and come up here and lay in the jail system. Say things derogatory like that, you know, um, verbal abuse. And it really hurt knowing that you're not there because you did something intentional. You're there because you already in a situation where you have to fight for your survival. So I feel like I know that if there had been counselors to talk to me and really sit down and understand my situation, I wouldn't have got that type of time that I got. I would have got counseling and, some type of justification, something to help me be a better person. But I was branded this aggravated, angry black woman, and nobody's really looking at why I'm hurting or why I'm angry. You know what I'm saying? So that is what I'm saying. You just become a number to them. You just become a statistic to them. You just become a nigga and a number, and they don't look at why you off in there. So that is why I know that I was discriminated against because of my color and because of my gender and my social economic place in the society. My children were separated. Um, my son, who was 4 at the time, they used to bring him to see me in the county jail. And the windows are only so big. And so somebody got to lift the baby up to see him. So just imagine how your 4-year-old is like, Mama, why you in there? Mama, come out, Mama. And you can't come out. And you talking to him through a submarine window. And so my boys were separated. One went to go stay with someone else, and the other one went to stay somewhere else. So they did not have that bonding of these two small children. And when I got out, my oldest boy, he remembered me. But my youngest son, when I went to get him, he ran from me and he kicked me and he refused to come to me. And so that hurt me so bad because he didn't know me. And that really hurt me that I had to try to establish that bond with my 2-year-old. He's 30 now, and we still don't have that type of bond that we were supposed to have had because it was severed. You know, we're not as close as me and his oldest brother. We're not as close as that, and I just felt because other people had to raise him while I was gone, and that affected that. So growing up, I saw the distance that he kind of put himself away from me because he was like, you was not here when I really needed you. And that's hard to explain to a child that way. So it severed us. It separated us, and it still does to this day. But I'm thankful that he knows that I'm his mom, and he knows that I love him, and that I had the opportunity to raise him up. But I missed those formative years with him when I really should have been there. Don't throw away people. Don't throw women away who have been incarcerated. Understand that they have children too, and that when they come in that courtroom and they've been battered and bruised, that the court should not further the brutalization of those women. Sit down and find out what their backstory is and how they come to this place. There's a song that we sing in church, and it goes, how come ye here? How come ye here? How come ye here to this place? And it's asking, how did you get here? How did you get here? You just didn't show up. There's a story of how and why she's sitting in front of this judge. There's a story of how and why she's sitting behind these bars. There's a story of how and why I'm sitting here telling you. And I came here because something happened. That's how I wound up at this place. It's just not by, I just showed up one day. There's a story, there's a road that led me here. Find out how I got here. And that's the biggest thing. Find out who I am. Find out about my backstory. And you might find out about something about your conscience, about how you really look at people who have experienced jail time, who have experienced prison time. You might see them in a total different light than other just being an inmate or a convict. And you might be convicted to change your view or your lens on how you see people. So that's what I want to say with that. Yeah, like I said, how come you here? How did you get here? What happened that you are in this place, behind these bars, in this suit, in this chair? Something had to happen because I know this is not the direction that you was trying to come to. Something happened. And so once we find out what that happening is, we can try to correct it. And if we can't correct it for her, maybe we can correct it for her children. By 50 years from now, maybe my granddaughter somewhere be doing something she ain't supposed to be doing, and this will show up on TV. And she'll be like, is that my grandmother? That's my grandmother? Wow, I didn't know that about my grandmother. So that is why these stories are so important, because I'm documenting my existence. I'm documenting that I was here, that I had a place, that my life, something led me to that, but that's not my life now. So I want that for my granddaughter. I want her to be able, 50 years from now, 30 years from now, she turn on the TV, she's somewhere doing something in college, and it, something comes on, she can look up and she'll be like, that's my grandmother. Because I may not be able to tell her the story. She knows some, but through this media and this recording, that's recorded. And so she gonna see it.